All right, let's dive right into this adrenaline-pumping explainer where we track the absolute insane chronological journey of a protagonist who uses purely physical training to completely dominate a world of mutants and cyborgs. Imagine being dropped into a universe where humanity's survival literally hangs by a thread, and everyone is frantically modifying their bodies or splicing their DNA with actual monsters just to stay alive. But our main character? He just does push-ups, and he is about to become the strongest being on the entire planet. So, our main character, Lin Zichen, transmigrates as a newborn baby into an Earth completely overrun by terrifying mutant beasts. But he comes armed with a massive secret. While everyone else is utterly terrified of the giant, bloodthirsty monsters roaring right outside the city walls, little Lin Zichen is quietly assessing this new grim reality straight from his baby crib. He realizes super early on that if he wants to survive in this absolute nightmare world, he has to become an absolute powerhouse.
Now, to survive here, humanity relies on two really extreme power systems. The first is mechanical ascension, where people literally replace their limbs and organs with cybernetics to become high-tech weapons. The second is gene fusion, where humans absorb mutant beast genes to gain monstrous physical traits. But Lin Zichen? He completely bypasses both of these by awakening an infinite adaptation cheat system. This insanely overpowered system lets him grow infinitely through basic physical training. Kick his legs 10,000 times, he gets permanently stronger. There are literally no limits. And his early physical progression is just absolutely absurd. By 4 months, he's crawling. By 5, he's walking. By 8 months old, this baby literally has a six-pack of abs. I mean, imagine being his parents. He has to secretly train at night just so his novelist parents and his childhood friend Shen Qinghan don't realize he's a superhuman infant. Whenever his mom walks into the room, he has to instantly pretend to be asleep, freezing in place while he's secretly doing aggressive sit-ups in the dark. It is hilarious. But, it's not just physical. By grinding out system missions, like reading 100 million words, he unlocks the heavenly wisdom root for peak human learning. This lets him breeze through elementary and middle school academics completely effortlessly. He's absorbing knowledge like an absolute sponge, mastering advanced mathematics, chemistry, and even computer programming, while the other kids are still learning their ABCs. He is literally min-maxing his own life right out of the gate. Then, in middle school, dominating a sports meet unlocks the survival of the fittest attribute, and this completely changes the game. He can now physically absorb life essence from beast meats to straight up steal their powers. He doesn't need to surgically fuse genes or anything crazy like that. He just has to touch fresh mutant beast meat and absorb its energy until he hits 100% codex progress. Now, the wild part is how he actually funds this ridiculous diet. Beast meat is incredibly expensive, so Lin Zichen literally starts writing web novels and dominating martial arts tournaments just to fund his massive grocery bill. Systematically, he unlocks some insane abilities. He gets stealth swimming from the ghost shadow squid, dynamic 30 times tracking vision from the violent giant eagle, and complete presence camouflage from the hidden breath dragon. He's basically building the ultimate biological loadout. Meanwhile, he discovers that his childhood best friend Shen Qinghan isn't just wetting herself from anxiety, she actually has a terrifying undeveloped superpower. During a swimming lesson, physical water literally passes right through her hands. She thinks she has a disability, but Lin Zichen realizes she actually has a rare, superhuman affinity for water. It's such an awesome character moment that shifts her from being a helpless sidekick to someone with immense, hidden potential. Fast forward to high school, and Lin Zichen is an unstoppable overlord. The contrast is almost comical at this point. The news is hyping up this so-called genetically modified prodigy from the capital who can lift 500 kilograms with one hand. Meanwhile, Lin Zichen, with absolutely zero gene splicing, is casually lifting 795 kilograms with one hand. His base physical stats utterly humiliate the top genetic freaks in the country, and he hasn't even hit his ceiling yet. Not even close. So, to unlock his next major milestone, the powerful natural selection damage boost attribute, his system gives him a massive quota. He needs to formally defeat an insane 1,000 opponents in a competitive setting. 1,000! This kicks off his highly satisfying high school domination arc, where he basically turns his entire school into a farming ground for his achievement progress. He completely crushes everyone in his path. The arrogant, show-off duo, Wang Shuji and Lu Gong, try to flex their expensive gene therapies and elite training,
Big mistake. Lindsay Chen humbles them immediately, taking perfect scores across the board in academics and survival. In martial arts class, he single-handedly defeats the entire second-year elite class, back-to-back without even breaking a sweat, casually ticking up his mission counter.
But to hit that 1,000 opponent quota in record time, he decides not to hold back at all. He literally challenges the entire school in the gym. He promises a massive prize pool to anyone who can beat him. Hundreds of students line up and he dispatches them all with a single strike. He ends the entire event by effortlessly one-shotting the former school overlord Chen Wuing, who couldn't even handle a single punch.
But while Lin Zichen is busy writing web novels to fund his meat-eating habits and dunking on high schoolers, a really gruesome threat is gathering storm in the background. The anti-human rat god cult is infiltrating the city. These cultists are kidnapping innocent people and mutating themselves into giant, bloodthirsty rats to attack the police and civilians, all operating under the sinister command of the mysterious Rat King.
Lindsay Chen's two worlds collide when he actually runs into a starving blonde cultist in a dark alley. The cultist tries to transform and sacrifice him to the rat god, but our overpowered MC just instantly brains the massive mutant rat with a random brick from the ground, killing it instantly. He casually absorbs its life essence to level up his stats and just jogs home like nothing even happened. It's brilliant.
However, the true horror is lurking deep underground. While the police think they've wiped out the cult, down in the sewers, a terrifying green-furred beast man violently rips the eyes right out of the Rat King's skull. It turns out the Rat King is really just a pawn digging tunnels for this green-furred nightmare, being punished for drawing too much attention from the authorities. The real threat is far beyond a simple rat cult. Now, completely unaware of this massive underground conspiracy preparing to boil over, Lindsay Chen continues to train relentlessly. He breaks into the ordinary rank 5 biological level. His physical stats are escalating to godlike levels right before the college entrance exams. By age 15, his standing vertical jump is over 7.2 meters. He is basically a human missile at this point. This all culminates in the provincial college entrance exam, which is the ultimate test for students. After absolutely crushing the written and physical fitness portions, Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan are dropped into a massive, dangerous forest for a 7-day practical survival test. They have to hunt for scorecards while surviving the elements and wild mutant beasts. It's supposed to be a tough, but totally controlled environment. But here is the terrifying twist. This forest exam is actually a deadly trap. In a shadowy room beforehand, a masked rat god cultist secretly bribed an exam safety officer. The cultist hands over a box of 10 demonic seeds, instructing the corrupt officer to capture the top 10 student geniuses during the exam to be used as high-quality sacrifices for the rat god. Ignorant of the cult's massive ambush waiting in the shadows, Lin Zichen coldly rejects the arrogant classmates who want to team up. He knows they only want to ride his coattails or hit on Shen Qinghan. The dramatic irony is so thick here. He rejects them for being annoying, completely unaware he's actually saving himself from a massive cult ambush. Choosing to rely strictly on his own overpowered abilities, he steps across the threshold into the dark woods alone, ready to protect his childhood friend at all costs. With 100,000 candidates locked in a sprawling forest filled with elite mutant beasts, a corrupt safety officer, and treacherous cultists closing in for the ultimate sacrifice, the stage is totally set for an epic showdown. We really have to ask, will Lin Zichen's insane, infinitely adapting physical power be enough to completely obliterate the rat god cult's deadly ambush? What happens when a god-tier human collides with a demonic trap? You'll absolutely have to find out in the next part of the story.